You're up at 7 a.m. checking orders. By 11 p.m., you're still answering emails and personally monitoring every move your team makes. You are handling everything yourself. But despite that extreme personal effort, the output consistently fails to meet your expectations. This happens when you insert yourself into every minor process, demanding granular reports and refusing to let your team make decisions on their own. This hyper-involvement creates an operational bottleneck. It doesn't prove your dedication. It actively suppresses the company's potential. If you built your business from the ground up, it's natural to view it as your own child. Protecting it is an instinct. But that instinct easily twists into a deep lack of trust. You begin to doubt your team can execute tasks properly without your constant oversight. Then the ego takes over. You start to believe that your specific method is the only correct way to achieve a result. Finally, there's the fear that stepping back will lead to an immediate drop in quality, a paralyzing thought for any founder. These psychological defenses create a trap. By attempting to prevent failure through absolute control, you ensure the business cannot evolve. Many leaders convince themselves that micromanaging is a viable strategy for maintaining high standards over the long term. This chart displays data from the Society for Human Resource Management and Gallup. It shows nearly 70% of employees consider quitting specifically because of micromanagement. That dissatisfaction has a real cost. Around 30% of those employees actually resign. When you control every little task, your team members never develop the habit of working on their own initiative. Their creative instincts eventually shrink. Remaining employees lose confidence in their own skills. They stop taking independent initiative and wait for instructions before making any move. Saving a single task through over-control costs the company its most valuable asset: independent, high-performing talent. The damage also affects your own capacity to lead. This pie chart represents your mental bandwidth. When it is filled by policing granular tasks, you have no room left for long-term strategy or big-picture decisions. By refusing to trust the team, you rob them of the friction required to develop new skills. The company's overall capabilities freeze in place. A business is structurally incapable of scaling beyond its leaders' willingness to let go. Breaking through this ceiling requires a tactical pivot in how you operate. You must trust your team with genuine freedom. This involves reframing inevitable mistakes as mandatory learning opportunities. Use intentional delegation. When you distribute ownership, your team becomes more capable and more committed to the outcome. Define clear goals and success metrics up front. Once the expectations are set, step away from the execution phase entirely. Judge the work based on the quality of the final result, rather than how closely the team replicated your personal process. Replace direct task control with conversational feedback loops. These loops should guide the team's growth, rather than dictating their every move. These 5 steps move you away from being a tactical taskmaster, turning you into an architect of organizational growth. The effectiveness of a business owner is measured by their ability to lead people, rather than their capacity to handle daily tasks. Giving your team the autonomy to operate, make decisions, and occasionally fail is the only sustainable mechanism that drives true business scaling. Stop micromanaging and start leading.